Hey guys, Steven here, Fanatic Perspective. So we got to talk about the brother Emmanuel Acho and the idiotic comments regarding the Texas 2010 National Championship game. DBs apparently receiving $1,000 for every interception. Oh boy. So before we even get into that, I want to give a shout out to our video sponsor, Boss's Ranch. Best darn ranch in all of Texas. You can check them out. HEB Cold Produce. They got two flavors here. My favorite here, the Red River Ranch. If you want a little bit of kick in your life, best darn ranch in Texas. HEB Cold Produce. Check them out. Brother Acho. So he's on Get Up. And for those who, been under a rock or whatever, Manny Acho responding, talking about the Odell Beckham Jr. Post-game LSU national championship game, handing money out to players. Obviously, the brother was under some sort of influence. We'll get into that in a little bit. But handing out the money to players, very, very problematic if you are, according to the NCAA rules and whatnot. Now, I will say I have no issue with players ever getting money. We live in a capitalistic society, and I don't believe in amateurism sports anymore personally. And if somebody wants to come and give them money, give them money. I wish somebody would come and give me money. So I have no problem with it. But there was no discretion utilized here, and it's done out in broad daylight. And rules are rules. And Odell Beckham is aware of that as a former NCAA participant at Louisiana State University and should have known better, but it is what it is. Now, a lot of topic about that and his locker room antics with the team, and just briefly touching on that. Guys out there, I know the officer did come out and say that he does not want to press charges, so this whole ridiculous warrant for Odell's arrest and how this situation escalated from a love tap is insane. I will say, though, by the letter of the law, you cannot slap somebody's ass. That is simple battery. It does not, especially a police officer. So the folks out there complaining on either side, it's kind of ridiculous. Like, you cannot, whether it's a locker room, whether it's the bathroom, whether it's a hotel room, and you cannot slap him and then square him up and get in his face and, start singing Get the Gat. It's funny, and it's makes for great video and great Twitter GIFs and whatnot. But if I was the police officer or anybody at work and somebody came to my job and, slapped my ass like that and turned around, I didn't know if the person wanted to fight me or take me to the bedroom, as seemed to be the case with Odell. I don't know how necessarily I would respond to said situation. I also wouldn't be checking kids and beer and cigar after they just won the national championship. Probably going to let that slide like the rest of the police officers and security guards were throughout the building. But there's always that one guy that has some sort of, bias or issue. Maybe he bet on Clemson. I don't know. He clearly was not aware of the context. From the age of time, winners have been celebrating with cigars and alcohol. Let it go, buddy. Now, we got to get Odell some help because I don't know if the brother's going down the Antonio Brown path. But in that particular situation, as we transition over to Manny, into the game, after the locker room, it's New Orleans. Y'all just won. Everybody's turned. You won national championship in your home state. Hit up your boy, whoever. Let's go get it in. Let's move this party over to the club or the hotel, what have you. Hey, you hit up your boy. Hey, we got some girls here or some boys or both. Whatever you partake in, Odell. Let's go get it in and turn up and utilize a little bit better discernment next time. Now, speaking of judgment and whatnot, I like Emmanuel Acho, Manny Acho. I do. And I've been a fan of his. Now, I know he is very, very unpopular amongst the UT community right now for, a lot of people don't like what he has to say about Texas typically and think he's kind of turned on the program since he's left to kind of help his media career ascend, which it is. He's ascended. When you look at the young ESPN talent, Chimene Ogumake, Dan Orlovsky, Pat McAfee, Manny Acho, like they have a young crop of what I would call personalities who are ascending, whether it's, in the debate universe and just more creative sports media content that they're trying to feature on ESPN. Manny's in that group. He's done a good job. He generates good ratings. And amongst that, from a national standpoint, folks like him. Now, when he gets on Get Up and they're talking about the game and Marcus Spears is on there too, and I actually put Marcus Spears in that group of the young personalities that are ascending, he makes the statement that, and you could tell it was like almost like barbershop talk where you get caught up and you start, I don't know if embellishing is the right word here, but you just start getting in and you want to chime in and almost like being a one-upper. And he makes the comment regarding the $1,000 incentive that the UT players had with former players. Now, either you're snitching about it, Manny, or you're lying based upon your post-game comments where, you have the situation in which he's talking about, he sends out the tweet to try to clarify because now it's become a big storm Thursday afternoon after everyone's seen and heard what Manny had to say. And, you have the situation where it's like, well, I actually don't have proof that happened and the backtracking has begun. Right. And he says, even at the bottom, no coaches, it was just a motivational conversation between players. You can't have stuff like that, Manny. And when you have, when you bring it up, there was no reason to bring it up. There was no benefit to you or to anyone else. It's only problematic. And Manny, being as smart a person as he is, made a very, very dumb choice and choosing to go down that route. And it's funny because Odell makes a mistake and then Manny comes and compounds said mistake with his school. And then you see people that are putting their school in their situation. And it's also kind of selfish, bruh, because it's like, look, if how the NCAA is, and how petty they can be, and any little thing you come snooping around, and they may not find what you said or what you implied to be, but they come and start asking questions and something else pops up. And now they start to find this body buried here. And then they want to go and start digging around and snooping around the program and the closet. And it could impact players generations beyond when you left. So it's not right, nor is it really a good look to be bringing stuff like that up. Now, if it's something that you just made up to be part of the conversation, because he had another Twitter thread with Greg Swindell where he asked him, like, why would you say that? And Manny's like, hey, as a former player, would like to chime in with value. And that's what I bring to the table in terms of value and my perspective as a former player. Not the time, nor the place, nor the subject matter in that situation. Again, nothing. Manny, you're smart enough and you're good enough as an analyst to where you can bring value to any type of conversation without having to go down that route or bring it up. What if somebody had said something to him in the locker room, that they took something or whatever? I don't know. Now, are you going to be that dude that no one now can trust? Because now that you're in the media, trust is a big part of your job and where you go. There's a lot of things, just having this small, tiny little YouTube channel that scuttlebutt I hear from family or people associated with the Longhorns or whatever, that I would never bring to the light on this channel. It's not appropriate and it gives no purpose, especially the type of platform that I want to have, right? So, and I know Manny is, I have 0.00001% of the type of influence and impact he has within the realm of media. And that's why I am a fan of his, no matter how unpopular he is amongst our own fan base. Now, my biggest issue, though, is you backtrack, you don't really apologize, and then you throw the fans under the bus because they rightfully came at you. You have the situation where he had the tweet with his twin brother, and they're like, where is it here? Yeah, so he has the tweet with his twin brother, and it's like, as I continue to grow, I got haters, and most of those haters seem to be from Austin. Look, man, the fans are the backbone of y'all's ratings, of whether you were at LHN and ascending so quickly, you as a player, the support. And I know not all fans, a lot of fans are very, very fickle. I get that. There's people that are saying ridiculousness like we should take away his scholarship that he earned and all this type of stuff. Like, I'm not talking about those idiots. I'm talking about folks that were rightfully critical, as I am as well. Those people aren't haters based upon what you said, right? This is self-inflicted, brother. All right, and I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like, if I saw Manny in person, I would love to meet somebody. I would love to meet Manny, whether it's here at Austin or wherever. If I saw him in person, I would tell him the exact same thing from my perspective as a fan. And he may not give a shit. I don't care. I don't know, right? But as somebody who I've again respected the way he's ascended very, very quickly. He works very hard at his craft, and the brother is very creative, whether you like him or not. I would just say, man, like, don't forget about the people who were there for you in the beginning. I'm not talking about your family members. I'm talking about the fans, right? The folks, the supporters of this program. Again, I know there's always going to be those Longhorns like a Blake Gideon, like a Chris Sims, who were not the most well-liked guys, right? But don't forget about the folks that helped you get to where, in any little way. It may not have been the biggest thing. I know you're a very self-motivated person and have tons of drive, but it's just, I personally was disappointed to see Manny stoop to that place, because he doesn't need it. It's too good. All right. Doesn't need to go there. And I don't expect anything to come of it from the NCAA, but when you start bringing in other people, now somebody's going to ask Aaron Williams about it, or Blake Gideon about it, or, whatever other corner or player that was in the game or on that team, and it's unnecessary. It's unnecessary, and hopefully Manny can grow and learn from this and understand. And I'm sure some of the other UT players, because I haven't seen a whole bunch of players, at least from that time frame, throw him under the bus necessarily. A lot of guys have come out and backed Manny, so he still has those relationships there. But I'd probably say, I'm sure somebody reached out to him, whether it's the DM or in silence, and said, "Bruh, you can't do that. Can't look like a snitch or a liar. Period. It's a bad look for you. It's a bad look for this program. And all we're trying to do right now, it's the last thing we need to deal with, as we're all trying to uplift this program and get it to where it needs to be in this new decade." So those are just my thoughts on the situation. Hopefully brothers can utilize better judgment in these situations. But still a fan of Manny. I know many of you are not. That's okay. We're all entitled to different opinions. And that's why I enjoy this UT football community. So, guys, as always, horns always up.